Welcome to For Fox's Sake, a marriage podcast hosted by David and Becca Fox. In episode 2, it's all about love languages. And now your hosts, David and Becca.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How's everybody's life going? And I mean that to my wife.
Well, today it's been rough, it's really been a rough week. Let's just say that. But hey, we made it here. It's cool.
Yeah, we made it here finally. I sat in the truck less time this week than I did the last time that we did a show.
Look, this time, yet again, I worked over and my mom was late to watch the baby. It wasn't that I was getting the baby ready this time. My mom was late. It's okay, though.
Real life.
Yeah.
Hey, we're getting better. By the third episode, we're going to be professional here.
Oh, I don't know about that.
But hey, anyway,
30th, maybe. Put a 0 on that.
No, we got it. But today what I was thinking, I just want to talk to you guys about, we're trying to communicate with you for Fox's sake. You know, I know that me and Becca sometimes have a hard time communicating. We speak different languages.
I feel like there should be some music that plays after that because that was such a deep statement.
What, that we have a hard time communicating?
Yeah, communication.
No, communication's hard because, I mean, it's extremely hard. But me and Becca was trying to figure out the best way that we could talk about how we communicate and how to help other people communicate better with their spouse. And so, upon our research, we come up with we was going to take the love language test,
which we've taken before. Just so you know, it can change apparently.
No, that's I was going to get to that, but we was
sorry.
No. I mean, I was going to get to that right then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, good job.
Thanks. I knew that you were going to do that.
But when we were younger, we took the love language test because we was having a hard time communicating back then as well. Evidently, it's just a consistent problem in our relationship.
It's probably just ours, though. Probably just our marriage.
Nobody else has a hard time communicating with their spouse. But evidently it changes because mine doesn't change. I'm pretty much going to be words of affirmation probably for the rest of my life. But Becca's changed. When we were young, we took the test, and to start off, there's 5 primary love languages, and depending on which love guru and communication guru that you read about on the internet, they could add a whole slew of secondary and third love languages that are out there, but the primary ones that everybody's going to go with are words of affirmation, acts of service, quality time, receiving gifts, and physical touch. That's the primary love languages. So whenever we were young, me and Becca took this test on a really old computer, probably in an apartment somewhere, probably our duplex, I would say, when we were still living in the poorhouse. And Becca was like 20% of every single one. There's 5 of them, and she got like 20% on all 5. So that makes it so difficult for me to figure out, how to give her love.
Yeah, because apparently he couldn't just do one. I needed a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it's like I would have to give her a hug while telling her that she did a great job while we're alone together. And I just took the garbage out.
Yeah. After I read my own results, I was like, oh, that's sad. You poor guy.
And mine was like is and has always and always will be words of affirmation. So I'm basically just a dog. And as long as you tell me that I'm a good boy, then I'm just going to be a good boy. Like, I want to be a better boy.
Yeah. And I think I either matured or something along the way, because now all I really care about is some help with doing stuff. I think it's the baby, because now I'm like, I don't even care if we have quality time. You don't even have to tell me I'm pretty. Do you just want to hold the baby while I take a shower? See, acts of service.
But so our current scores based on what the love language test has told us about ourselves right now. I'll go with my scores first. You okay with that, or you want to go?
That's good.
You want to go ladies first?
No.
All right, I'm going to go first. I've got mine written down first, so that's why I'm going first. I got 40% words of affirmation, go figure.
Dun, dun, dun.
So just tell me I'm a good boy, and I will be good.
Don't tell him bad things, because then he's like, oh, I'll show you. That can be bad.
And I will- I'll
total
wait.
opposite. You got to build him up, and then he's like, "Yeah, look at me go. I can do it.
I can
I've
do
learned
anything.
that, guys."
Like if you just tell me that I'm doing good, I'll do anything. He's like, man, you took the trash out so good yesterday. Like
I'll do
watch
it
out.
again
I'll
right
take
now.
I'll even take the bathroom trash out. The trash can that I don't even go look at. I'll go get the trash out of it and take it outside too. There won't be a lick
This
of
is
trash.
such a true story.
There won't be a lick of trash left in the house because it'll all be out. And I would say that most wives could probably just tell their husbands, like, man, you were so good at the dishes. Like, you're so good at that. And then, like, all of a sudden, every day when you come home from work, there's like 0 dishes.
Yeah.
Like, man.
And
But anyways,
as a wife, we should be better about probably telling them nice things. But I think we get into that habit of that's just what you do. You help make those dishes. Why am I going to tell you you did a great job cleaning those dishes?
I don't understand the psychology of this. I just know that if you just tell me something good, then I'm in. And I'm going to do it better next time too. But so let's see. I got 40% words of affirmation, and then I got 30% acts of service.
You don't have a lot left.
No, that's 70% right there. So the remaining is 13% quality time, 10% receiving gifts, and 7% physical touch. So I essentially don't need you to be around me. You don't have to give me anything or touch me. All I need is you just to basically tell me nice things.
You're good.
That's the cheapest.
Yep.
It's the cheapest gift out there.
Yeah, it's true.
You want me to read yours, or do you want to read
No,
yours?
you can read mine.
All right.
I'll talk on them.
All right. So, Becca, you got 37% acts of service.
What?
So
I
what does
told
that
y'all,
mean?
he just holds that baby while I take a shower. That's all I need. Or, like helps wash bottles or something. Like, there's
What's funny is
a
that
list.
she's using these things right now because we had this talk about this yesterday.
We did. Funny thing. Let's just bring the real life into this moment.
No.
Why don't we do that?
There was not any kind of communication issue between us.
Not at all. Like, I just, our baby's 2.5 months now. Well, close to 3. She'll be 3 months on the 6th of May. So we're close. We're getting there. So we haven't been in this new stage of life for very long with a newborn. I mean, it's only been 13 years since we had one. But we're doing it all over again. And here we are. And every night since this baby's been born, probably not every night. I'm probably over exaggerating just a little bit. But as a mom, I feel like in my head it's every night. But I'm up till like 12 o'clock trying to get stuff done, like to get ready for bed. And I'm like preparing at 7 o'clock. Like, I don't know how it takes from 7 o'clock to 12 o'clock every night for me to somehow finally put my head to my pillow. But David, however, at like 9:30, 10 o'clock most nights, his head's already on his pillow and he's laying there ready to go to sleep, looking all like, oh, I
I'm
feel
waiting
great.
there anxiously awaiting the next task.
Yeah. And Becca's like, running around with like a chicken with her head cut off, trying to feed the baby and,
Hey, save some real life for the rest of us, dude.
Wash bottles, all the things. And so last night we did have a moment because I had, some bottles in the sink and Dave went and laid down and he forgot. There was a stroller on the porch he forgot to bring in. The TV was on downstairs, all these things.
I don't remember.
And he's
any
just
of
laying in
this.
the bed, like, didn't even try to help me prepare to go to bed. So, communication, bottles.
I got out of bed, washed the bottles, and brought the stroller in. I just want this to have a happy ending. That
He did
everything
do
that
that.
needed to be accomplished was accomplished.
Acts of service.
Acts of service. So you need me to just do stuff for you.
Basically.
Hey, it's too easy.
It makes me feel really loved right now if I just, have like, I get any sleep at all and
All right.
showers. And
Showers
food, I like
and-
that too.
Showers, food, sleep. I'm
Yep.
making notes right now in my phone. Your next one is 27% quality time.
Yes.
So you just want to hang out with me?
Yeah.
Or is this for anybody?
And like, this ain't just like hang out, like you're on one side of the couch and I'm on one and everybody's on their phones. This is like, hey, you're looking at me. We're like having
I'm looking
communication.
at you right now.
Yeah, I know. See, quality time. I like you right now.
Your next one, words of affirmation.
Yeah.
It's 20%. That's
I mean-
like, you don't even need me to tell you anything.
I know.
You already know it all?
I mean, I don't know it
You-
all. I just,
No.
if you do the other two things,
No,
I
you
feel
know it all.
my love tank is filled. You just got to do those. And I'm like, they keep me going.
Physical touch, 10%. So like, you we could be on the same couch, not on our phones, but not touching one another.
Yeah, I get
two separate blankets.
I'm hot
but not on our
natured,
phones.
like skin to skin's like sweaty, whole thing. Keep going.
All right.
What else?
No. All right. So your next one is 7% receiving gifts. So I don't have to get you anything.
No. I mean, if I want something, I'll get it, Like
Are you a
Amazon has
strong
everything
independent?
I need.
Strong independent woman.
Prime and Amazon speak that love
Prime.
language for me, so
Man,
I'm good
I
there.
just said earlier, if I had known that my life would be revolving around Amazon Prime quite like it does, I would have took stock out in Amazon years ago, because I would have more money, I guess, to spend on Amazon.
Probably, yeah.
I've been investing in
story.
Dogecoin. Me and Becca also talked about the fact that I'm a private investor in cryptocurrency right now.
Yeah. He's just a tad delusional. He's like, I'm, part ownership in this business.
I'm basically an owner of a lot of companies right now.
He was very much trying to convince me of why he gambles with our
It's
money.
not gambling.
And
I don't have a gambling addiction. I am an investor.
Remember that part where I said quality time where he's not on his phone? That means he's not like sitting there looking at
Investing
stocks all
money.
day. And yeah.
Anyway, so it looks like, out of the scheme of things, as long as I'm just hanging out with you and helping you take care of business, then you love me.
Mm-hmm. That's very true.
Is that it?
Yeah.
I wonder what everybody else's is.
I don't know. But isn't it ironic that ours are so opposite? Were you getting there too soon?
I was, but it's down in my notes a little bit farther.
Well, I mean, Dave and I are complete opposite humans.
Polar opposite.
So it's no wonder that our love language would be opposite as well. Like,
Opposites attract, though, right?
right. And then marriage attacks, right?
Hey,
Pretty sure I learned
think
that in the
that's
marriage
right.
class
I
somewhere.
learned that in the marriage class. That was taught to me by some of the best people out there.
Yeah, they're cool. They should, do a podcast on marriage or something. They taught us what we know, so we're just trying to apply it in our lives.
I had some really good statistics now that my gigantic notes are so cluttered up, I can't find it. But
Well, back to this whole thing about the. Let me get there real quick
Yeah, get
because
it.
you said it was in your notes anyway. So the whole part about us being opposites and the whole love language thing. One of the things you had said when we were talking about love languages was the fact that people probably try to love other people in the way
yeah,
that they feel loved.
true.
So in a marriage or any relationship for that matter, if you're trying to put out what you want to receive in your love language and that's not that person's love language, then that's probably not going to help them feel loved.
Amen. I forgot about that. But
Clap for me.
there's a test out there, and I just couldn't find it because I was going to try to find it so that we could talk about this, where you figure out what love language that you give out versus what you, because like I need words of affirmation, but I think that naturally I'm trying to like give you gifts or probably give you gifts or words of affirmation as well. Like I'll tell you that you're doing good and then try to buy you something.
Mm-hmm.
But because that's not what you receive as love, it's you are, let's see, words of affirmation 20% and receiving gifts 7%. So like me buying you something that's virtually
Yeah.
meaningless.
Yeah. He'll and he really does do that. Like he'll go places all the time and call and ask if I need anything. And I'm like, no.
I'm not returning home without calling and asking if
He's
if you need
trying to give
anything.
me a gift. I'm like, no, I don't need anything. I have what I want.
But think about the communication problems that would, if like I knew that you needed, now I do know that you need acts of service.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can quit trying to buy you stuff.
Right.
I'm probably still going to do that because I think that's naturally what I'm going to drift to.
I mean,
but
I'm okay with that.
as long as I'm just make a note to, take care of some business around the house,
Mhm.
help you out, then
I
you feel
super
loved. Yeah,
It's like bonus points.
yeah.
If you do like
What do
I
you try
really
to give
need,
me?
and then I don't know.
Nothing. I'm
What?
just kidding.
I feel like I just try to do everything. I'm probably doing acts of service for you because like I try to do so many things like at the
That's
house
true.
and then
But that's what you
but I
need.
don't give you words. I probably don't give you your love language of words of affirmation very often because that's not something that like I really need. So that's,
See how this makes sense?
see how that's can be an
So
issue.
I wonder what kind of, maybe our fan base, this It's monster
do
fan
we have
base.
that yet?
Yeah, we
Nobody even knows this is happening.
But maybe our fan base, it could save them some heartache by. It took us 10 minutes to take this test,
Yes.
maybe less. Well, I think
we
it
took
took
other
me.
tests.
We
too,
did, but I'm
so-
talking about this one. I think this one was pretty short, honestly.
Yeah, it was the shortest. He tried to
And-
tell me a different one was the shortest, and then that one took me like
It's just semantics.
forever.
So we did this, and so now we know what each other needs, and it's fresh on our mind. But like we said earlier, it changes a lot. So
Don't just like do it 1 year and then wait 5, and then you're like, why do I want to,
yeah, why do I want to
punch
hit
my husband
wife?
all the time?
Oh.
Yeah, what?
All right.
And then, and then you're like, what's going on?
Why am I-
You should probably take the test again.
Why was
and
there
then regroup.
headgear and boxing gloves in the Amazon orders this month?
Yeah,
But
that's
anyways,
what it was.
but I had some really good statistics that talked about the amount of divorce that happens that is attributed to communication issues, but I can't find it.
That's okay. I mean,
There's a lot of it though. It ranks in probably the top 10.
I'm pretty sure that anybody that may be listening to this right now can literally just think about the people in their life. Because if you're like me, you look around and you just see marriage falling apart everywhere you look. I mean, I literally broke down the other day because one of my favorite podcast couples announced they're getting a divorce, and I'm actually not okay about it. But it's like not just them. I just feel like I look around and everybody is getting divorces right now. I mean, and Dave and I, we've been together for longer now than we've been alive. Ain't that right? Like we've known each other longer now in our life
we've
than
been
we
together
haven't.
longer than-
So we have seen a lot of like people together and separate, and not that we haven't, many times been on that road ourselves, but
Bruh.
Jesus is our
Yeah, you
jam.
did, for
And so, when you got Jesus and you lean to him, sometimes like,
Yeah, there's this
all
whole
the time.
triangle scenario there that, to get a little theological on y'all, but I want you to shut your eyes right now and picture a triangle.
you're not going to count down first, like
No.
get them in the,
Here, start the metronome. So close your eyes. Picture a triangle. Man is on the left. Wife is on the right. God is at the
because
top.
we're always right. Sorry.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, God is at the top of the triangle, husband on the left corner, wife on the right corner. And then as the husband and wife work their way up the triangle and they get closer to God, they in turn get closer together.
Yep. But if you look at it the opposite and you're both not close to God and you get further away from him, you're getting further away from each other too. So
Boom.
boom, mic drop.
Anyways. So what else was you saying?
I was just talking about how there's so many divorces around us. So like, I feel like this topic of conversation and communication with your spouse, and I just feel like it's where we're, supposed to be headed.
Hey,
So
quarterly, you should try to maybe just find out if you guys are on the right track or not.
yeah,
That's what we should do.
just like, yeah, it's almost like my work. Like I should put it on my calendar to follow up on my love language and yours to ensure that we are still,
I mean, mine's not changing.
well,
I can already
just in case.
guarantee
I mean, one day you might not want to hear nice things.
that's never going to
You
happen.
may want gifts. You
I
don't know.
literally just want, like, if you just like, I'm telling you, if you're like, man, it's like, guess what? I'm going to do the bottles when I get home because I did them so good yesterday. So, like, as soon as
Yeah.
I get home, I am washing bottles. Mark it down. But on top of love languages, as we were on this, I cannot remember the website that we got it off of. But if you Google it, I'm sure that it's right there. Number one, if it's not on the first page of Google, it doesn't exist anyways. So, but there's apology languages. Has anybody ever heard of those?
I had never heard of it
I'd
until he
never
told
heard
me
of
I
it
was
either.
taking this test.
Well, I
so-
had never heard of it, but I took the love language and I was like, man, I'm going to take this apology language too, because evidently you can tell me that you're sorry in different ways. That means
Tuning.
something to me. And so I don't know how I'm going to read because I wrote them down here. I'm going to read the apology languages. Accept responsibility, expressing regret, genuinely repent, make restitution, request forgiveness. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 apology languages. And so I never did know that these things existed. And to give you a quick rundown, I have made a list of things that fall into those categories so that you're aware of what each of these means. So like if your apology language is expressing regret, you would say things like, I'm sorry that I lost my temper and yelled at you. Or I'm sorry that I came home an hour and a half late and we missed the program.
So you're actually saying sorry for what you did
Yeah,
wrong.
you're expressing your regret. I feel bad for my behavior, that my behavior has hurt you.
Is that my apology language?
I'm gonna explain these, and then
I'd like for you to be sorry for what you're sorry for.
I'm gonna explain these, and then I'll tell you what you got and what I got. Accepting responsibility. This is where you will say things like, I was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. I have no excuse for that. I take full responsibility for that. So you're accepting responsibility. I think that's why they called it that.
Yep.
Making restitution. How can I make this up to you? I know I've hurt you deeply. I regret that, but let me make this up to you. So you're trying to,
I don't think that one's mine, is it? Because I feel like I don't actually even remember what mine was. I'm not going to lie to you.
I'm going to tell you what yours is. You got to give me
I'm anxious.
Oh, here we go. Genuinely repenting. I don't like what I did. I don't want to do it again. Can we talk? Can we put together a plan that will help me stop doing this? So you're genuinely repenting. And the last one, requesting forgiveness. Will you forgive me? I hope that you can find it in your heart to forgive me. And I value our relationship. I know I've hurt you, and I hope you will forgive me. Requesting forgiveness.
All right, now I'm anxious. What are
All right. So now that everybody is well aware of what these 5 apology languages are, you want to know what yours is first, since I went first last time?
Sure.
Yours, what do you think yours is without looking?
I think mine is where you say what you actually did and then you apologize for it.
All right, this is accepting responsibility. It's 36%.
Look at me. I really could not remember what I was. Not going to lie. I was really...
36%.
See, I know myself.
And then expressing regret is 32%.
Yeah, because I want you to know what you're apologizing for and then express it. But that whole will you forgive me thing, like...
That is your request forgiveness is 5%.
Yeah, see, that don't work
doesn't
for me.
even exist.
Don't even try.
I mean, I feel like that if we're going on what we give, I think I say that probably.
You do. Yeah.
Hey, just forgive me for saying that.
Yeah, and then it makes me mad. Yeah.
No, it would make you mad because
really
it doesn't
learning a lot from this one.
See?
And I bet you nobody knows this one even exists because I never knew about it.
Hey, so now whenever you're having communication issues and you know how to say you're sorry, or I know what you need to hear from me to know that I'm sorry.
It's also like, like in companies, like at my company, we have a personality test that we basically, I think all employees have taken.
Is that the ENTJ?
No, that's a different
Briggs
one. It's like ICD.
ICP.
S. And like I can I could break them down, but we don't got time for that. So long story short, there's a personality test out there that you can take to kind of learn what kind of personality you are that helps you like approach people. That's why we did it at my company, because that way everybody when we reported to an office, everybody had like these little things on their badge that said what they were. So you knew in the elevator or in the bathroom or wherever you are, how to approach somebody, because everybody's so different. And it was really cool. But if I didn't work there...
Do they have a name for like awkwardly approaching people? Like kind of like picture how I would do it. So I would just walk up to you awkwardly. S is basically like shy, and I was like, they're all like shy. What if I'm not shy, but I'm just awkward? Like I would stay, like I would.
I mean, I'm sure you fall somewhere in the S because it's more of like the, people that like keep to themselves.
Introvert.
Yeah,
I'm not an introvert. Just don't talk to me in person. I'm just kidding. So my apology language. What do you think that I need to hear from you?
Probably short and sweet. Just, I'm sorry, right?
Well, it's request for forgiveness. So, I don't know why.
Ask for forgiveness?
Yeah.
Like, will you forgive me?
Yeah.
That's like annoying. Like, why can't I just tell you why I'm sorry?
Well, because that's what you want.
Yeah.
That's not what I want. That's the whole difference in what,
hey,
literally right here. I'll give you the number breakdown. This is how opposite we are. 5% of your apology languages request forgiveness. 35% of mine. 30% of mine is accept responsibility. 36% of yours. So that's almost the same. 15% genuinely repent. 14% genuinely repent. So that's about the same.
It's just our main.
Yeah, our
the
main
most
one
important ones.
Yeah, so just be like, I want you to say this because I wrote this down. I want you to say, I value our relationship. I know I've hurt you, and I hope you will forgive me. And if you say it that methodical, like that's systematic.
Can you write that down for me?
I've already got it written down.
And print it out.
It's in my notes.
And highlight it.
I'll have a tattoo of it now.
I should get a tattoo so I can just look at it and be like, oh, that's what I got to say right now. Do I have to have emotion with it, though? I'm
never going to accept responsibility for my actions.
Well, obviously, we're going to be back next week with more issues.
Yeah, stay tuned for next week.
For Fox's sake.
On divorce court.
Oh, goodness.
But that's some things that we've learned.
Mm-hmm. And they were, really eye-opening. And I think that in any type of relationship, really, like I said, at work, just us knowing each other's personalities, like that helps you go like far in your communication world. So
I love you.
I love you.
Do you just saying that because we're on this show?
Yeah, that's why. For the sake of the show. If we were at home and you said it and it was quiet, I would say it back.
No, you would. You would for sure. Well, I hope everybody learned something today.
Me too. I mean, I learned something.
No, I literally took this test and I wrote down some notes. So I already knew this, and then here I'm talking about it and I relearned it.
Yeah. But for real, if we can help anybody out there with just any knowledge at all to better your life and better your relationships.
For sure.
Then.
And we obviously got to work on this ourselves. So we're not just we're not like me and Becca's got the best communication skills right now. We're telling you guys about these problems because we have these problems.
And obviously we're actively working on them. So
you got to work on them too. That's the whole thing. You can't just get complacent in this life.
Side note, because, relationships are like a garden. I literally said this one day, and it's funny because it just came back up.
You say life is like a garden, dig it?
No.
All right, Joe Dirt said that.
Relationships are like a garden. Like, you have to grow them and work at them. And, you can't just, plant stuff and then be like, yeah, I mean, I thought you could just plant stuff and it would be fine. But that is not the case, because if it don't rain for a while.
During coronavirus, we decided that we wanted to be frustrated and save 3 cents and work all summer at planting a garden. And so that's what we've done. We've saved almost no money, work really hard at planting a garden, but it really did. Yeah. I mean, it produced some fruit though, and some vegetables.
I mean, did we get fruit? I think our fruit
I think the birds eat the fruit. We're about to have some blueberries.
We got a couple vegetables.
Yeah, I had a zucchini as long as my arm, like you wouldn't believe.
There's a lot that goes into gardening. But anyways, that's why I use that, because relationships take work, lots of it.
And pruning.
Yeah, it's like all the things.
You could be growing in the wrong direction for a little bit and got to cut that off.
Mm-hmm.
And restart.
Yep.
Not restart like marriage, but
you can restart, your marriage, just not have to get a divorce and get back together, but be like, okay, let's regroup. Here we go.
It's okay to go back to the basics. This literally, love language is like the basic thing that you should be going through, like premarital counseling, which we didn't do, but I highly suggest after, I literally just applied for my degree today. And one of the things that I got out of, I cannot remember the class, but it's talking about how important premarital counseling is. And I'm telling you, you should go do it if you've not done it, if you're even considering being married.
Or even if you don't go before your marriage, it's probably not bad to just go during your marriage. I tell David all the time, we should go to counseling. But instead we're going to do a podcast and maybe we'll get counseling through this.
We're going to work it out right here in front of you guys.
But in all honesty, real quick before we end this session, me and David we've done actually a lot of counseling throughout our years, and we actually went before we were married. And let me just tell you, we were teenagers, when we had a baby. So
seriously, we was 17 or 18,
but 19. Right. But I remember feeling really silly about going to counseling because I was like, we aren't even, because we had our baby really young. I was 19 when we had her and a senior, and I just graduated actually. And so we were very young, obviously, like, do not do that. Know what you want to do in life. I tell my daughter all the time, like, she's going to go to college and have a career. It's going to be a whole thing before she ever even thinks about babies, because I would never change having her, but it was definitely a struggle. So, but we went to counseling before we got married, because obviously we're teenagers with a baby, and, you know, I really wanted to punch him back then. And so we went to this
There's
counseling.
a lot of freaking violence in this relationship. Right? I'm literally only doing well so that I don't get hit.
That is not true. I've never even spanked my child. Like, I am like the most loving human alive.
Spare the
Like,
rod,
seriously.
spoil the husband. Is that in
Anyways,
Psalms?
I don't know. Let me get this out. So anyways, we had went to counseling, and we were children, and we weren't even married yet. And I remember feeling like such an idiot being there. And I'm like, we are literally in counseling and aren't even married. Like, how are we going to, why are we even trying at this? And I'll never, ever forget this counselor saying, you know, you may feel silly for coming right now, but because you both showed up, and because you're both here, that shows that you are both actively wanting to work at this relationship. And they said you could be married for 10 years and then come 10 years after you're married and never ever have had counseling. He was like, do you know that I would have to uncover 10 years worth of issues to try to get to the real issue in the marriage? And he was like, but coming so soon, you all make it easy on me. And I'll never forget him saying that, because it's so true. Like, you should never feel silly about trying to work at something. And
No, if it's
using
important, you
outlets,
should be
so-
working on it.
Right. So,
You
anyways,
value your marriage, you should work on it.
but even if you've been married for 10 years and you haven't went to counseling, that's not saying
Yeah,
don't
you're never
go.
too old to start.
I'm telling you should actually go, so they don't
You're
have
never
11
too old to
years they
start.
gotta
Even if
uncover.
you're in counseling like Billy Madison was in elementary school, you're just never too old to, restart it.
All right. Well, that's what you get for today.
Thank you guys for listening.
For Fox's sake.
I haven't perfected how to say goodbye yet. Goodbye, everybody.